Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors. But first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Draymond Green sees Warriors youngster in Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's return in Game 4 ended Jonathan Kuminga's short playoff leash. Kuminga turned into a ghost anew in Game 4 as Butler lifted the Golden State Warriors on the brink of advancing to the Western Conference semifinals with a gut-wrenching 109-106 win over the number 2 seed Houston Rockets on Monday at Chase Center. But that ghost flashed into Draymond Green's mind when Butler rebounded 3 Rockets players in the final for seconds to seal the win. "I think my favorite play was the last rebound," Green said of Butler's 27.5 rebound, 6 assist performance. "I looked up, I thought it was Jonathan Kuminga out there flying. It was Jimmy." The young and athletic Kuminga held the fort when Butler was out in Game 3, setting the tone defensively when he took on Rocket star Jalen Green. Kuminga helped the Warriors hold Green to 9 points on 4 of 11 shooting after exploding for a playoff career-high 38 in Game 2. "Every game is different. JK could come in next game and have a monster game, and he missed 3 games, Golden State coach Steve Kerr told reporters after Game 3. "We didn't play him 3 games. That's not an easy thing to do, and I thought he came in and gave us important minutes." Except Kuminga never got a chance to have a monster game. Kerr played 11 players in Game 5. Kuminga was not one of them. He received his 4th DNP in the Warriors' last 6 games. It could have been 6 straight DNP had Butler not gotten hurt. "I kind of grew into it," Kuminga said of getting benched after he filled in for Butler in a Game 2 loss. "I've been here for 4 years, and throughout these 4 years there were times I didn't play, and it messes with my head sometimes as a very young player, but I kind of grew into it." After the first game, Kuminga was removed from the rotation. Kerr was asked if he's worried about hurting his confidence. "I don't factor that in." Kerr told reporters at the time that's regular season stuff. "When you go through the 82-game season, you factor in everything. You try to help everybody along. When you get to the playoffs, everything goes out the window. You just try to win each game." It was a drastic fall from grace for Kuminga, who was the Warriors' second-best leading scorer behind Stephen Curry, until a significant ankle injury kept him out for 31 games. By the time he returned, his spot already belonged to Butler, who arrived via blockbuster trade at the deadline, a turning point in the Warriors' flailing season. Butler played 40 minutes in Game 5, playing through a deep glute muscle contusion that kept him out of Game 3. The Warriors improved to 24-7 with Butler playing. Butler's impact on winning on top of his vast postseason experience sealed Kuminga's fate in Kerr's playoff roster decision, and perhaps his future with the franchise that drafted him 7th overall in 2021. No amount of Green's praise for the soon-to-be restricted free agent Kuminga can change Kerr's mind as long as Butler can play. Kerr buddy set the tone defensively. Shiano buddy healed and defense are words that you wouldn't normally hear in the same sentence together. But after what could be considered a game-changing effort on that side of the ball on Tuesday, his coach was prompted to give defensive credit to the Bohemian star. The Golden State Warriors held off the Houston Rockets 109-106 at Chase Center in San Francisco, California, on Tuesday to take a 3-1 lead in their National Basketball Association, NBA Western Conference first-round playoff series. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr said afterward that Hield's defense played a key role in an 18-1 scoring run to open the third quarter, which changed the trajectory of the game. The Warriors trailed 57-50 at the half, but went on to lead 68-58 just 4.5 minutes into the third. "I'm going to utter some words that have never been spoken before by anybody on earth," Buddy Hield. "You set the tone defensively tonight," said Kerr. "I'm going to say it again before the end of the playoffs. You can guard, and you did that tonight." He started his first game of the postseason on Tuesday, and the decision paid off as he was active on both ends of the court and gave the Warriors the energy and efficiency that they certainly needed. Hield finished with 15 points on 60-for-15 shooting from the field, was 349 from distance, and added 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. In Game 3, 2 nights earlier, he had 17 points off the bench, connecting on 6,413 shots, including 54-11 from three-point range, and added 3 steals, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists in a 104-93 win for the Warriors. He had a +17 efficiency rating Tuesday night, and a +4 in Game 3 Saturday night. In the first 5 minutes of the third quarter alone on Tuesday, Hield had 7 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. He was a menace defensively, frustrating Rockets guard Jalen Green on a number of occasions. Green was held to just 8 points on 348 shooting from the field just a few days after he exploded for 38 on 1 3-for-25 shooting from the field, 84-18 from three-point range. On the offensive end, it was his transition three-point shot which gave the Warriors a 68-58 lead at the 723 mark of the third quarter. The Warriors went on to lead 82-80 at the end of 3 quarters, matching the 2-point cushion they had after the first quarter, 28-26. Giannis and Antetokounmpo trade landing spots if Milwaukee Bucks star asks out. Heading into the 2024-25 NBA playoffs, another first-round flop felt like a worst-case scenario for the Milwaukee Bucks. Turns out that wasn't the half of it, because the Bucks not only lost yet another first-round series, their third in a row, but they also lost Damian Lillard to a torn Achilles. And that very well could mean they've already lost Lillard for the entirety of the 2025-26 campaign, too. The absence alone is a crushing blow, but the real worry is whether it becomes the final factor that convinces 2-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo to take his talents elsewhere. Potential poachers are certainly hoping that's the case anyway. And it's possible their wish could be granted, since Antetokounmpo has never hidden the fact that winning trumps loyalty. If he concludes, as one reasonably could, that contending is no longer possible in Milwaukee, then he'll almost certainly have to consider finding a new hoops home. He'll have no shortage of possible landing spots, but the following 5 clubs should top his list. Long before Lillard went down, Brian Lewis of the New York Post relayed that Antetokounmpo has been, and remains, Plan A for the Nets. Perhaps it was wishful thinking at the time, but dreams can come true. He's an obvious target for the organization, which ESPN's Brian Windhorst previously reported planned on going star searching this off-season. Stars don't shine much brighter than this. Antetokounmpo, who remains in the heart of his prime at 30 years old, has already earned MVP twice, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP honors. The tougher sell here is providing him with a championship blueprint in Brooklyn. The Nets lost 106 games over this season, and they're without both established stars and blue-chip prospects with obvious star potential. All of that said, Brooklyn has gods of cap space this summer, a rich enough pick collection to send out several for takeout, and still have assets left for additional pursuits, and a marquee market to sell potential targets. Plus, the roster isn't totally devoid of talent. Cam Thomas is a walking bucket. Cam Johnson ranks favorably among basketball's best 3 Andy wings. Nick Claxton is an intimidating interior anchor. Not to mention, first-tier coach Jordi Fernandez could be a rising sideline star. There are basketball reasons for Antetokounmpo to consider the Nets, and that's without knowing how they could strengthen their roster around him. The combination of this market and this superstar would not be difficult to sell to potential running mates and you fan. What do you think about Antetokounmpo's situation? Write to us in the comments.